Hello, this is David Lasher from Keen 360 with another video product overview, this time for Keen Life Sciences. Our product, powered by the low-code Creatio BPM CRM platform for organizations in life sciences, big pharma, small pharma, biotech, med device, organizations looking for complements to, bridges to, replacements for the leading platforms in this industry based on the Salesforce.com platform itself. These well-known industry-leading platforms are well-known amongst other things for being really quite complex, really not as agile as perhaps organizations need, and definitely not for many organizations at the right financial point for what the organizations want to accomplish. Our Keen Life Sciences application with the Creatio platform is an alternative. It is a fully functional and enterprise caliber alternative for this industry where teams need to support or transform or launch commercial operations. With no further ado, let's get into the solution itself. What we're looking at here is a list of accounts. This would be for HCOs, healthcare organizations, of course. And let's first of all orient ourselves with the standard layout for a Creatio screen. On the left, we have the navigation bar with the modules available to any given user. I am a super user administrator, so everything is available to me. And in the left-hand navigation, we expose the business objects and the functionality to the users on our different teams. We'll see how to control those teams in just a couple of minutes. So that's the left-hand side. Just for orientation again, on the right-hand side is what is called the communications bar. We will not be going into this, the communications bar in this video, but it's where emails, alerts, reminders, chat, just like chatter in Salesforce.com, or even phone integration if your system is VoIP. This is the place where all of that functionality would be accessed. But we're going to focus on the types of functionality that would be made available to the folks whom commercial operations supports. We will be looking at HCO profiles and affiliations. We will be looking at HCP profiles and relationships. We will look at attainment and activities and meetings, some dashboards that are the cockpit or the starting point for any user in the system. We will be taking also a look at the KB or knowledge base, and we will not have time to be looking at a number of other areas of functionality for Keen Life Sciences. We will look at closed loop marketing. We will look at sales territories, and to take a deeper dive, we would ask for viewers of this video to reach out to us at Keen 360, and we'd be happy to arrange a session with you for your particular circumstances in your organization. But let's see how it works. United Pulmonology Group is dummy data that we have put into our demo instance. And so let's step into this practice. And what we see here is standard in Creatio. On the left, we have a couple of tiles with summary information, and then sets of key information are organized into tabs that we see here. This is the different modes or channels of communication. Guidance can be provided as might be needed. Phone numbers, if you click on your cell phone, and yes, mobility, as we'll be discussing, is fully supported natively or standard with our application in the Creatio platform. But your different phone numbers of different types, all kinds of different types. Click out of that. addresses of different types and importance, and going to step into this legal address here. It was arbitrarily set to the legal address for UPG, and just wanted to show a couple of things. Yes, you do get the location button on a map, which can of course be handy, and then what we wanted to point out was that we do try to both provide the flexibility that the field organization needs in terms of the contact address information in the system. That would be kind of free form data entry for the med reps or the field reps and their management teams. And then, but there also has to be a certain amount of control for headquarters or home office, keeping data in a certain order for the sake of compare and contrast and reporting in particular. And so the data quality team, data management team would have their fields as well. We'll be showing how everything within Creatio, that which users can do, that which they can see, is controllable down to the field level. So the field might see and be able to edit this about the field comments, whereas only home office designated kinds of users on data quality team perhaps would be the only ones who saw and or were able to update this field. Okay, so that tension, right, natural tension between what the field wants in terms of flexibility and the control that home office needs is something that is part of our thinking, our architecture, our configuration. In addition to rich functionality to support different modes of communication, our application has some general profile information for categorization and segmentation of accounts, generally your HCOs, but it could be any account. Right? Is it a key account, for example? We'll look at that again in a second right here. But also, any kind of attribute can be represented as a field or box in the UI, the user interface, made available. Part of Creatio's low-code value proposition is that it takes literally 60 seconds to implement new fields once they have been decided. Right? It's design that's all important, of course. And reference management: who are your references? How do you want to control them? Typically not a process within commercial operations that is done especially well. We have some mini functionality around that, and automations and references that can be kept in the knowledge base for access by only those who need them, but for all those who need them, them being the references that might be documented. The functionality for people and teams is very robust. We can see everybody who's been in the organization through time, their start dates, their end dates, who's current. In Keen 360 experience and thinking, some jobs and positions are more important than others. Head nurse, for example, head administrator. There are certain positions that we always want to bring special attention to, perhaps, and that is entirely feasible. Set up different teams or departments to which you can assign the individuals in the organizations, also a part of this solution. And we'll get to portal users at the end of this video summary. The plan tab here is for the account plan, the key account teams, the key account managers, strategic account managers, or customer teams. We can indicate what organizations are part of our managed account processes and assigned to managers. We can have account plans year by year, quarter by quarter, whatever we want. Out of the box, what we provide here are some triggers, some prods, some reminders to at least be thinking in a succinct way about SWOT analysis. Who is the account team, along with automations to schedule meetings and send updates. What over time have the account planning documents been? And these updates, key updates that we want to make visible, to share with the team, make visible to the team, memorialize for the team, they can be put here too. This is almost like a marquee for key information for the account team. A real differentiator and strength for the Creatio platform is its ability to model the complex relationships that prevail in an industry like life sciences between accounts or organizations and also individuals or contacts. And what I want to show you here, this is a list view of different types of relationships. The CVS in Burlington, Vermont, I suppose, is indicated as the dispensing pharmacy for UPG, right? Whose advisory relationships, GPO types of relationships can all be modeled and captured and maintained, as can be traditional hierarchical views, all pretty nice. So, and a real strength of this platform. We will see similar with individuals. And we will only go into it with the accounts organizations, but these tabs here are constant and consistent across all objects or areas of functionality within Creatio. What we're looking at right now is the timeline. So in reverse chronological order, we are seeing all interactions, regardless of what type of interaction it was, with the HCO, UPG. And same information, but a different kind of prism is looking at all interactions, but grouped by what type of what type of interaction it was. Now, typically in life sciences, we wouldn't have opportunities, but scrolling through here to show or share the possibilities. This tab allows any number of hyperlinks or attachments within Creatio to be added to the object, in this case, an account for UPG, and basic notes that we might want to capture. We at Keen 360 don't necessarily find this to be real useful, but the rest of it can be tremendously valuable and is, again, consistent through all the objects exposed through the user interface to the system users. Let's look at HCPs, right? Individuals, healthcare professionals. Of course, contacts in the database do not all have to be HCPs, right? That's just a type of contact. We will look at Dr. Mike Polmo here, who belongs to UPG. When I open the record for Dr. Mike, we see the same layout, right? Good for for users to get through learning curves, and familiarity is efficiency within an enterprise application like this. But again, we see the tile of summary information. It would bring attention to what we see down here. This is a data quality metric. In this case, we see that 85% of the attributes about the contact that we want to collect from a corporate perspective, we actually have in this case collected. So that's pretty good, even if not perfect. Obviously, we can run data quality reports on where we stand on different records in the database, right? There would be a distribution. And where this number was low, we would look to follow up and bring ourselves into a richer set of data about the records. This little cloud here is an automated service that goes out for an individual, Dr. Mike Polmo, not a real person, of course, goes out and finds their Twitter handle, their LinkedIn profile, etc., and populates, makes available for one-touch population right here. So very nice for either the data quality team and or the field to get a lot of data very quickly. Different addresses available of different types. What's the best address? Again, with the just like with the accounts, the maps are available if we click into it. The difference, personal addresses, the address, if we choose an organization and it has multiple addresses, we can choose the address at which Dr. Polmo works. We want to bring attention to something that we think is nice in this solution for the target audience is, what are the office hours or the work schedule for a given individual? Make this available. And if desired, the organization can make it easy to print out a one-pager with the selected information about the individuals. If that is not something the organization wants to expose to its users, this can be turned off. But it can be really handy. People don't always want to be in the system. A lot of people, including myself, the way I operate, I like to have one-page printouts of key people. That is what is available with merge fields and infinite configurability, no matter what we're looking at in the system. So I just wanted to mention that. The profile information, general information about the individual. This is all on this page, the profile information. Again, segmentation and categorization information. We see HCP specific information in this grouping of attributes. Things like in the US anyway, the NPI number, the DEA number for controlled substances, all of this easily changed as your own organization might need. Key opinion leaders. Is this person a prescriber? If we have influencers like nurses in the system, they might not be prescribers. We'd have them as influential non-prescribers. And speaking of influence, we can have attributes for the marketing team and showing our assessments in terms of a marketing prism about a given individual or organization. The history of assignments to different territories. We'll be looking at territories more. And for the IT team, system information down here. Another nice thing about the HCP profiles is the degree to which we can capture information about job history, regardless of organization, across organization, and what types of specialties and licenses and continuing education certifications an individual might have. There are many CRM platforms allow you to capture one or two bits of this information in fields, but there is the way this is set up. We can capture the full history, for example, of affiliations or connections that this individual has with any organization. Targeting is about plans of action and attainment, and of course the med reps or field reps will receive their targets for their territory, for their HCPs, and this tab concentrates that information for Dr. Palmo in one place. We can see that to date we've actually made no qualified contacts with Dr. Palmo for our targeting, and that's because at this moment that I'm speaking, we're at the outset of the a year. It's 2021, and no contacts have been made in this month. The goal is to have made one qualified contact over the course of the year. So that would be the purple, right? And the orange is by the close of the year. That's the way this plan is set up. It could have been a quarter. By the end of the year, we want, it looks like, it tells me the end of year plan is 16. These will be upcoming meetings and activities for Dr. Palmo, types of activities if we want, and important, we're not going to go into it, but we can capture survey and interview information or results that we might conduct. We have a meeting at the end of a detailing session. We might need to validate some annual information. That would be captured through a survey made available to the organization in a consistent manner through the platform. Again, we're not going to have time to go through everything, so I wanted to mention it, even if I'm not really going to be showing it in this video. Marketing, again, any kinds of key attributes that we might want to define and track, we can. We can see what events a given individual. Dr. Palmo has been invited to this webinar that we'll be looking at in a few minutes. And it turns out that Dr. Mike has so far confirmed participation. So this is all from the perspective of one individual, where they stand for the marketing team and different types of metrics that we can make available on the record itself. We're also going to be looking at dashboards in a little bit. And then this, again, interactions, timelines, connections of family and friends. We could have, this is the same as we saw with accounts. We have by type, and we have reverse chronological order. And if we have individual files or notes that we wanted to keep and share, we could. Let's move on from, we've looked at HCOs, HCP profiles. Want to address a question that would surely be going through the minds of anybody in this industry contemplating a new CRM platform. It's the question of, can I control who can see and do what? And the answer is yes, and to a fine level of control, down to individual fields that we make visible and or editable to a user. We control by what role does the user belong to within the system. And there are two types of roles. Where within the organization does the user sit? This would be kind of the traditional org chart view. Looking at medical teams, marketing teams, legal teams. The data quality team is here. It's in the next view that we will see. But we can model the hierarchical view, and then we can also model the functional view, right? So I said data quality. We didn't model a team here. We assumed that it is a role within a team, maybe within the commercial operations organization. And it is through these two, the functional roles and the organizational roles, that to heart's content, really, we can control who can see and do what. That point of reassurance having been made, I want to move on and think in terms of day in the life of a rep or a manager. How do they get oriented, started, remember where they are, trigger the memories, pick up on Sunday evening as they're thinking of the week ahead as to what they need to do, where the priorities need to be. This is the dashboards. All of these are different sets of data organized into dashboards. We've got the rep view and the manager view, similar but different here. And what are we looking at? We're looking at attainment for a given rep. Where do I stand for my individual HCPs? This would be the tabular view. This is the graphical view. We had seen Dr. Palmo, right? This is me getting a view of all of my providers. And yes, there's only 3 here, but we would expand to see everybody. And we could export to Excel, for example, if the functionality is made by extended to me by the organization. Again, totally controllable. But I could export in Excel to look at it on a week-by-week basis for my attainment. And then, what are my meetings today? For a manager, what that might be more interesting, my territories. But we don't assume at the outset that a rep is just one territory, though in life sciences that will typically be the case. A glance at the manager's dashboard, very similar with the attainment. I cover, if I'm a manager, to my territories, which ones are underperforming, therefore maybe need my attention, need to work with my rep in North PA, Pennsylvania, of course, North PA, to get a plan to get back on track. This is where I would come to get my summary information. What are my coaching calls? Yes, that functionality that I'm not going to be able to go into here is supported, but both automated, quarterly invitations going out, the two-way feedback between the coach and the coachee, all retained within the system. That is part of what is here. If I'm the manager, here's the coaching, the ride-along days that I need to schedule, that I've already performed, but I need to finish the paperwork, the evaluations. This is a handy view of activities today, this week, this month. Idea here being make it easy to have different views for the med or field rep in particular. Rosters of my HCOs and HCPs. Again, if the organization makes it possible for me, I click here and I can export to Excel as mentioned, either for handy printout or if I want to do other value-added analysis. Approvals. Not going to go into it, but as of late 2020, early 2021, approvals within any Salesforce.com platform, just going to say not so easily licensed or configured, is standard within the Creatio platform and our application. We have, if I'm on an MSL on the medical team, and I have a queue of MIRs, medical information requests. If I'm on the data quality team, we've merged the two here in our demo database, but what are my DCRs that I need to multi-step approve before I implement? These would be pre-approved emails, templated emails that the field or med reps themselves are not statutorily or by company policy permitted to send themselves. Sampling, surveys that I mentioned, key account management, dashboards where we put all of that summary information with export, drill down, even import ability possible. But let's, in the interest of time, move on. And what we're looking at here is, let's say that we had scheduled a detailing session with one of the HCPs we cover, Dr. Laser and Dr. Melanie Laser. And what she does, she's again, we're in the pulmonology group, so we have a new detailing presentation that's been released to us in the field, and we're going through the presentation. And since we are talking detailing, let me answer another question that is surely going through minds of viewers of this video, which is, well, if this is a web browser interface that we're looking at, and it is, what about mobility? And the short and true answer is that everything that we are looking at now, that you're seeing in this video, is made available, supported in tablets, Android and iOS, in short, a click of a button. It is a native Creatio capability, and what it allows is, if we're doing, if pre-pandemic especially, we're having face-to-face meetings, we have our tablet, we pop the presentation, we go through it with the HCP or whomever we are meeting with in the way one would hope and expect. If we're doing a Zoom, this isn't Zoom, it's SlideShare here for illustrative purposes, but Zoom, Google Meet, whatever, a dedicated, specialized detailing, best-of-breed detailing accessed by a hyperlink is very straightforward. We can organize by products. This one not very well named. I want to point out that as the commercial ops team or manager, district manager, if they want to define key call objectives and key messages for types of sessions that are going to be part of the targeting plan, it is defined once, and through automations that I'm not going to be able to go through here, this gets populated for all of the reps, all the system users who are meeting with all of their HCPs, Dr. Melanie and others. So it is truly draft and approve and roll out once, and it is available for all the HCPs for all of their meetings without them having to do anything. If I'm doing my pre-meeting, I would click into Dr. Melanie's, she would be a participant on this tab, jog my memory as to things I wanted to talk about in the meeting when I was doing my prep. And then during the meeting itself, I would take notes preparatory to, subsequently at Starbucks or whenever my own work, whatever my work style was, writing up and submitting my formal call report. Right? We can see here that there are automations for delivering a sample. If I was working with my manager, the evaluation, the coaching. If I needed, if I have a location in here, just generate the link and go to Google Maps, for example. And if I had a survey, that would, as already mentioned, that would be here. So there's much else that you can see from the tabs here. All of that kind of functionality that is hinted at here is nicely supported for the efficiency and effectiveness of your field organization. Right? Let them focus on the high value, knowledge-oriented, relationship-oriented kinds of activities that they're good at and are paid to be good at. So let's move on, again, in the interest of time, to that which is next, and that's closed-loop marketing. What we're seeing here is the graphical display of the campaign from Dr. Mike Polmo. We define our audiences. There's slicing and dicing as you'd expect or want or need from a best of class marketing automation application. We see Dr. Mike right here. Let's go back to the campaign flow itself. A marketing professional analyst would build this. It is straightforward to do so. And we can see here that it is multi-channel, right? This is for key opinion leaders. Send them an email. Yes, we can have our marketing assets in. We can have templates with our standard signatures, for example, with merge fields for everybody who receives. And yes, we track the metrics for who opened it. We drive them to a landing page, a registration page on our own website. We capture the results, bring them into the CRM system. Based on those results, we have different actions. We conduct the event itself in person, online, and then post. We can follow up with thank yous and please give us feedback, and then we're at the end of this particular campaign. I hope this gives a sense of the power that is in the Creatio marketing module that we view as part of what life sciences companies need in order to derive maximum value from their CRM platform. Let's move on to the sales territory itself. We saw how roles are created. What we're looking at, roles control who can see and do what. Sales territories are the way by which we connect HCOs and or HCPs to our sales organization and manage that over time, including the reporting. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly, but what should be apparent at a glance here is that we can go year by year. We can, before the 2021 model or plan goes into place, we can allow open window for comment and feedback and adjustments from our field organization instead of just foisting it upon them on January 1. But let's step into this model. We're at the top of the hierarchy, level 0, or the bottom, depending on how you want to look at it, a pyramid. And it can be n levels deep. We're going to look at regions, districts, and territories in the way we've got this sample data set up. We could step into the East Coast region, but let's skip it. We will leapfrog into the Pennsylvania district. At every level, we can assign who the director or manager is. And yes, they in their dashboards can see all of the roll-ups for attainment and other metrics that are important to them. We can see that the Pennsylvania district is a child to the East Coast region. We maintain all those relationships, and then we can step into East PA. And in Eastern Pennsylvania, now we're at a particular territory. David Lasher, that's me, set up in the system as a rep. I was also set up as a manager for demo purposes. And so we could have, of course, reps change within a given year. We could have different types of professionals within our organizations assigned to a given territory, helping in different ways, the medical team, for example. And what we have is we can have HCOs and or HCPs as the assignees, and the assignments can be by address, zip code, or by manual override, right? Ad hoc assignments by keystroking in the relationships or assignments that we want for one reason or another. In general, what we would expect in real life is that 80-85% of the work would be done by a click of a button. And yes, it's a click of a button attaching the providers and or organizations by zip code, by best address or other zip code. And then, of course, the commercial operations organization would make adjustments there too, right, through the override process. So targeting or attainment is thereby tracked, again, making it available at the fingertips to the user in the system, and so simple functionality that is actually quite robust and powerful. Let's take a look then at the first of the last two types of functionality or areas of functionality that we want to share in this video. This is the knowledge base to which we've alluded. The knowledge base can have any kind of asset article in it. The assets, a PDF, a video, whatever it might be, can be within Creatio itself or through hyperlinks in other content management or drives or network drives, G Drive, whatever it might be, SharePoint, can be in other locations as well. All very straightforward. And we can have types of assets in our KB, in our knowledge base. We can have dates created. We can have sunset dates. We can control who can see what. I will go into, we will say this is a product presentation for the new year. It would have gone through an approval process before being released. The release date here is not populated, but of course could be. We could sunset, make this no longer available to the field organization as might be appropriate, connect to different products. This is a make-believe product that's in our demo database. And the way the KB works is, in general, you get the opportunity to, the system administrators get the opportunity to put guidance here. The commercial operations team can. A little bit of history, perhaps, about the presentation, intent, key messages, and then the presentation itself could either, again, be loaded into the database, into the KB, or this could be a hyperlink to another application with all proper cybersecurity, not hard to configure. All modern methods that the IT team needs are part of the Creatio platform. With that, let's move on to the last of the areas of functionality, which would be portal, the self-service portal, and we will be taking the view of an HCP, a provider, coming to the self-service portal that we have exposed. So what we're looking at here is the portal functionality of the Creatio platform. This is, again, more standard functionality of the low-code Creatio BPM CRM, a platform that WeKeen 360 leverage for our life sciences solution. What we're looking at right now is a self-service portal, relatively straightforward, not a lot of functionality here, but what is here can be very useful, very valuable, and can be extended as well. So if this is the portal functionality for a stakeholder group, HCPs, that we want to allow them to come to us and make requests or update data, that's what the self-service portal is. For the HCP SSP, that is available. Again, pretty straightforward. If the HCP has come to the site and made sample requests for e-sampling, maybe of their own initiative submitted information requests to the medical team, the MSLs, maybe we need on a regular basis to get, or an upfront requirement, we need to get consents for collecting data about the HCP, for example, in Europe with the GDPR. If maybe every year we would send out a request for the HCP to validate the best address information or the office hours that we have, that is something that we could do. Any kind of service requests can be supported through this self-service portal. And then the progress of the request, the fulfillment of the request is core capabilities for our team and users in the commercial operations or service provision organization. What we see here then is an extension of the KB, the knowledge base, the assets therein. I want to emphasize again that we can control exactly what a visitor to the SSP can and can't see. Maybe it would be articles based on therapeutic area or medical specialty. Maybe it would be based on territory. Almost any kind of segmentation or categorization that you can think of, we would be able to implement and get the right assets available to the visitor, whom maybe we would have driven them here from a marketing campaign, right? And they could see our latest product presentation, for example. So everything available here in the those are just the most popular. The way we have this set up, I'm only showing one record right now, but the HCP could come in. We can control what fields would be exposed to the medical professional, and we give some guidance here and any attachments per the screen layout that we have seen before. Can we customize this to our heart's content in terms of the way it looks to the visitor, the HCP who might be coming? No, we don't. We are confined to the way Creatio operates, but there is, of course, the branding and some picturing and other changes that can be made for the look and feel that your organization might want to deliver through the portal. So that is the portal. To wrap up, we've spent a fair amount of time going through a quick overview of a rich set of functionality that our Keen Life Sciences application offers to organizations as powered by the low-code Creatio BPM CRM platform. There is much more to explore here. We've scratched the surface. We hope that we have conveyed that this is indeed a full-fledged enterprise caliber application for supporting commercial operations within life sciences, as we contended at the outset of this video. For more conversation, for a demo perhaps tailored to the requirements of your own organization, the circumstances of your own organization, we at Keen 360 would love to hear from you. So please visit our website or drop us an email at info@keen360.com, and let's engage in discussions of what your challenges are and what your ambitions for your organization might be, and how we with the Creatio platform might be able to help. Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.